I need you to hear the whole thing before you decide what I am. Everyone in Hollow Creek learns the same rule before they learn to ride a bike. If something calls your name in a voice you love, you don't answer. You count to 30 and you keep your mouth shut. I know the rule. I taught the rule. 6 weeks ago, I started breaking it on purpose. My daughter's name was June. She was 8. She had a gap in her front teeth that made a little whistle when she said words with an S in them, so she used to pick words without them, like a game. She called the reservoir the big bathtub. She had a yellow raincoat she wore in July, in full sun, because she liked the sound the sleeves made. 3 summers ago, at the end of the dock behind the old pump house, the big bathtub took her. I'm not going to tell you about that day. You don't get that day. Nobody does. What I'll tell you is that the divers brought her back to us in 4 hours, and that they never found her hair tie. Yellow, with a plastic strawberry on it. My wife bought a pack of 6 from Kessler's Pharmacy, and June lost 5 of them the way kids lose things, and the 6th one went into the water with her and did not come out. I know exactly where the other 5 went. I found them all after. That's what grief is, by the way. It's finding strawberries in couch cushions for 3 years. Rachel left in the spring. Not because of me, she said. Because the house had 2 kinds of quiet in it, and she could only survive one. I stayed. Somebody had to keep the porch light on. That's what I told her. The truth is I stayed because June's room still smelled like her shampoo if I kept the door shut, and you can't move a thing like that. It doesn't pack. We never unplugged the baby monitor. She was 8. She didn't need it, but it had been on that nightstand since she was born, and turning it off felt like a door closing. So it hummed on its little green light for 8 years, and then for 3 more, over an empty bed. On the 14th of June, at 3:11 in the morning, it made a sound. Static first, then a small wet breath, like a kid surfacing at the shallow end. Then her voice. Daddy, I'm cold. I want to be honest with you, because this tape is a confession, not a warning. I knew what it was. Immediately. I grew up here. I sat cross-legged at the fire station Halloween party like every Hollow Creek kid and heard the sheriff explain, in his kind voice, why we count to 30. I knew about the Whitlock boy. I knew what lives in our water and what it does with the voices it takes. I walked down the hall, and I sat on her bed, and I picked up the monitor, and I said, I know. I'm sorry. Are you warm enough now? You can judge me. You weren't there for the 3 years of quiet. It talked to me almost every night after that. Always 3:11. Always through the monitor. And here is the thing I need you to understand. The thing that took me too long to understand. It got her wrong. At first. It said things June never said. It asked me to tuck it in, and June never once said tuck me in. She said do the blanket burrito, because a burrito is a word with no S in it. It called her stuffed rabbit the bunny. His name was Mr. Pancake. Every night it reached for her and missed by an inch, and every night, God help me, I corrected it. No, sweetheart. Pancake. You always said pancake. I wasn't talking to my daughter. I was teaching her to it. I told myself it was harmless. A tape recorder in the dark, getting warmer. Then in the 3rd week it stopped asking to come in. It had spent 2 weeks asking, can I come home? Can you open the window? Is my bed still there? I always said no. Some piece of me still held the line at the doorsill. In the 3rd week it changed the question. Daddy, come to the big bathtub. I found my hair tie. Nobody knew about the hair tie. That detail never made the paper. The diver's report listed her clothes, her shoes, and I never told a living soul what was missing, not even Rachel, because it was mine to look for. Every July I walk the drawdown line when the water drops, looking for a plastic strawberry in the mud. 3 years. Nobody knew. I went to the closet where I keep the box the county gave us. Her folder. Her things. I hadn't opened it in a year, but I know its weight the way you know a phone in your pocket. The hair ties were in a bag, the 5 I found. The bag held 4. I don't have an explanation for that. I've built 6 and burned them all. A bag does not subtract. A locked closet does not reach into itself. Either I miscounted for 3 years, which I did not, or something in this house needed me to feel exactly what I felt standing there, counting to 4 again and again with the world tipping. It knows where everything is, in the water and out of it. I believe that now. I believe our whole town is furniture to it, and it moves us when it wants the room arranged. Last night it ended me. I'll tell you how, and then I'm done, because the shift starts soon and I have somewhere to be. At 3:11 the monitor breathed, and her voice came through smaller than I'd ever heard it, smaller than the real June ever sounded, and it said the thing I have never told anyone. Not the sheriff, not Rachel, not this recorder until now. The last thing my daughter ever said to me, on the dock, in the sun, with her sleeves going swish, while I looked down at my phone. "Daddy, watch me float." I never repeated those words. I have never even written them. They lived in exactly one place on this earth, and that place was me. So here is what I know that the fire station talk doesn't teach. It doesn't learn our voices from the radio, or the phone lines, or the wind over the water. Those are just its doors. It was in the water that morning, under the dock, in the cold below the sun, close enough to hear a little girl's last sentence through 4 feet of green water. It doesn't borrow voices. It keeps last words. It has a shelf of them somewhere down there in the dark, and it has been saving hers for 3 years, the way you save the best thing for when you need it. It spent 6 weeks learning to be June from me. It didn't need to. It had her the whole time. The lessons were for something else. It wasn't studying my daughter. It was studying what I'd do to hear her. And it graded me right. That's the confession. It read me right down to the mud. Because I'm not running. I'm not nailing the windows like the Whitlocks did. Tonight, I'm going to the dock. Not because I think she's down there. My June is gone. I carried her. I know the weight of gone. I'm going because the thing in the big bathtub is the last thing alive that heard her, and it will say her words to me in her voice with the little whistle on the S. And I have done the math on what that's worth, and the math is ugly, and I'm going. If you find this tape in the archive, you already know how it ended. Don't drag the reservoir. You won't find what matters. It keeps what matters. And if some night your monitor breathes, or your phone rings from a number made of zeros, and a voice you buried says your name, the old rule still stands. Count to 30. I got to 4. This is tape number 5. There is no tape number 6. Not for me. Keep the porch light on, and stay away from the water.